We are back. Welcome back to another episode slash video of the ONJ podcast. I'm your co-host, Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
Tonight we're in Detroit, not us actually, but the game. Hawks versus Pistons. Detroit gets the win. A nail biter. 99 to 98. Very competitive game. Very, very low scoring, as you can see. The other day, what the Heat Pistons was 135 to 132. So, it's good to see, some competitive basketball. I mean, it was tough at the beginning with, a lot of missed shots and everything, but I mean, it started to pick up towards the third and fourth quarter. So that was good to see. But as always, who's your player of the game?
So my player of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and I think this might be a controversial one. I don't know if you're gonna agree with me with this one.
Feel like, well, you gonna pick another? You gonna pick the losing squad? Somebody from losing squad?
No, no, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it. There was some good, options over there.
Okay.
But I decided to go with Ron Holland.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not mad at it.
Seven, 17 points,
Mm-hmm.
6 of 8 from the field. But I think the main thing for me on why I'm picking him for play of the game is just the intensity that he played with this game and all the effort that he put into it. From loose balls to defending. I just think he was giving it his all on the court, especially in
Putback.
that first quarter that it wasn't like you said, a lot of missed shots, a lot of turnovers. He kind of made it exciting in that first quarter to see him like put so much effort into it.
Nah, he was great. Yeah, I think he has like the ability to give a team like a spark. You know what I mean? I mean, I agree with everything you said. He plays with so much energy. And just when you least expect it, your team could be in like a offensive, just a rut, like just out of rhythm, not hitting shots, and then he'll just come out. Like I know that helped that second quarter putback. Like that kind of gave some boost to the offense a little bit. Like when you don't think about it, or just him just flying down the court and getting an and one layup. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know what quarter, maybe third or second, but those energy plays like that, really lift up your squad. But I'm gonna go a little different. I mean, this is the I didn't I mean, there were a lot of, good performances from the winning team, but I mean, with it such being a close game, um, I wanted to give Big O a shout out just because his first half, like he has such a great first half, you know what I mean? And I mean, he was doing it all. You know what I mean? And was he? And he may. I think he is. Yeah, he is giving up. Well, not too much. I mean, I think he's. I feel like he gives up a couple inches. To Jalen Duren a little bit. I know Jalen Duren's probably a legit 7 feet. You know what I mean? What you want to say? Pause. Like I don't.
Oh,
What? Okay. All right. Pause. My bad. But but I mean, like, and size wise, I think maybe Duren looks bigger than him. You know what I mean? Pause. But I'd say like, he held his own. I mean, he had a great game. He finished the game. Let me see. Let me pull it up really quick. I know he
yeah.
had I really want to shout out his first half because I think he had like 16 in the first half. He finished the game with 20 and 6. So I mean he kind of the maybe the shots weren't there necessarily in the second half, with Jalen Johnson catching fire. You know what I mean? But I mean that first half, I think he really kept them in that game, the first half, especially with not too much production from, Alexander Walker and not too much production from Jalen Johnson in the first half, but they started to pick it up in the second half. But I think without his performance in the first half, you like you won't see, guy like Jalen Johnson get into some rhythm in that third and fourth quarter. So I'm definitely shout out to him for that. I mean, he held his own in the paint as well, and that hook shot. That hook shot, it looks like more practice, he could work, but thing is, I mean, he did take a lot of threes though, and he was 2 for 9 from the three, but I mean, the shots were there, but like I don't, but were they efficient? I mean, I guess he has the ability to make them. I guess you miss him, but like as a center, like him, like having your center out there, shooting threes, and then we've talked about in the past a little bit too, like with your center shooting threes, like who crashes the offensive board? You know what I mean? Unless you have some, unless you have a like if you have Jalen Duren shooting threes and you have Isaiah Stewart on the court with him, you have Isaiah Stewart to kind of get that offensive rebound. But like with the Hawks, you have Big O out there. I mean, who you have to go get it? Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniel, like Nikhil Alexander Walker. Like they're kind of small, you know what I mean? And you're trying to make them box out a Jalen Duren or Isaiah Stewart or something like that. You know what I mean? It's not really realistic. So, I mean, he was 2 for 9 from three. So I mean, it wasn't, clearly his shot wasn't hitting too much, but outside of that, though, I thought he had a great game for sure.
And adding to that three, I think he's trying to expand his game more. I think 3-point shooting bigs are very valuable in the NBA nowadays.
For sure.
It's probably like a long term, adding that 3-point shot to his arsenal,
Yeah.
at a good percentage. Long term might actually end up helping him. And
Yeah.
then, like you were mentioning, he had a great first half, and I really wanted him to continue that into the second half, but I felt
Yeah.
like the team once they saw Jalen Johnson and Alexander Walker were, hitting more of their shots, I think they went towards them more,
Right.
which kind of sucks because I wanted Big O to be the leading scorer for this team because his effort and his scoring in the first half is why they only lost by 1 point.
You're right.
Because if not, this could have potentially been a blowout because there's
Yeah.
nobody scoring on that team on that first
Yeah.
half.
Yeah. And I agree. I agree 100%. Yeah. I mean, you would like to see him get a little bit more, looks in the first, like in the second half. But I mean, Jalen Johnson and Nikhil Alexander Walker. I mean, they were James Johnson in that third quarter. Like I'm sure he probably had most of his points in that third quarter. I mean, he just took over. Really. Took over like his talent commanded. It's really actually like impressive too, just to see, and it makes me like think about like pose the question like of just college, right? You know what I mean? Like here's a player. He only played 13 games. Essentially, I guess from what the articles say, essentially left school early. You know what I mean? Just left and said, "I'm gonna prepare for the draft," right? And he does that, and and that's a big risk, especially leaving a big time program like Duke, right? So you're leaving a big time program, a big time coach, you know what I mean? Who's had, guys like Kyrie, Nolan Smith, Kyle Singler, Wendell Carter Jr., Marvin Bagley, like the list goes on, all of them, like NBA guys that have played in the NBA. And then, you leave and you take that risk. And I mean, he's a star, you know what I mean? Like he literally does it all on the floor. And, it kind of makes you pose the question of like, not to say like how does that happen? Because like you would think maybe he would need to develop in college, but clearly not. I mean, if he's a star in the league, you know what I mean, and star for his team currently right now, he's having a great season. So I mean, I wonder if it was just like he was just able to develop on his own, or I mean, this is his fifth season, but like still though, that's kind of like cool to see him kind of pretty much have to learn, you know, kind of the hard way essentially by just going straight to the league.
Yeah, and with that, I think it's like a two-sided of a coin because we've seen players who try to go directly to the league or skip maybe a year or two of eligibility to go to the
Right.
league faster because I feel like some people feel like they'd rather go to the league and learn from being in the league and being around professionals compared to being in college. But I think that's not always good for some players. I feel skipping college, you're missing out such a big piece of your development that going straight to the league might end up hurting you at the end. And some people don't kind of realize that because we've seen players who've done that and they haven't been very successful. People who kind of feel like, oh, I'm the best player. I kind of don't need college. I'm just gonna go straight to the league. They get to the league and it doesn't work out. So it's good to see when it does work out. When they put in the work and everything comes out okay for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, I wonder what it like. I guess you just have to be a certain talent, you know what I mean, or maybe just have your role already established, You know what I mean? In terms of maybe you have to know mentally like what your role is going to be going to the league, and maybe you're able to make that move. Like, you have guys like him, like Jalen Johnson, even Mitchell Robinson, right? He was supposed to go to Western Kentucky, but skipped out on I don't know something. I don't remember that story, but he was supposed to essentially play at Kentucky, Western Kentucky, and didn't really have to, and he's kind of carved out a role in the league. You know what I mean, as a rebound and shot blocker. You know what I mean? So I guess it depends on maybe it's just if you know what your role is going to be. I mean, hey, you can make that move or you just trust your talent, that much. Yeah, I mean, it'll be yeah, that was but yeah, I was just curious to see like just with him having the success and not having to go to and like kind of experience college a little bit, but decide to leave. So that was interesting to see. But Pistons though, I was a little
It's,
worried. Um, 15 turnovers in the first half. Give or take. Yeah, it was like 15. Yeah, it was 15 in the first half. Uh, didn't have the best first half. Um, but the game was still very overall close, like you said. Not a lot of made shots. You know what I mean? I mean, it wasn't. It, this was a tough game. I mean, what did you see from the? Did you see anything like? What did you see from the first? Just not even first half, just the Pistons overall. Like any good?
what I have in my mind right now,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna get back to your question, but I have this thought in my head that I wanted to ask you this question based on the
Mm-hmm.
Pistons. I want to ask you
Mm-hmm.
before before I forget and it leaves my mind. How do you feel about Jaden Ivey and the Pistons? Like
Okay.
his role,
I'm glad you
seeing as
brought him up.
how the guards on this team have kind of, evolved and, gotten so much better in the time that he was away. Do you think Jaden Ivey's role on this team will still be there, or would the Pistons potentially look for him as a trade piece further down?
I like Denarius next to Cade. I think it looks better next to Cade than Ivy does. I think his skill set kind of fits better next to Cade than Ivy does. Um, Ivy, I don't feel like him and Cade are kind of duplicates in a way. You know what I mean? But not to say that their skill sets are the same. But I'm just saying, think I think their skill sets are more closer together than they are apart. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um, like I think Ivy isn't the how would I describe? Like I wouldn't say Ivy gets into the paint as easy as Kate, like in terms of like crafty at getting into the paint, and like maybe isn't doesn't need like pick and like isn't really high in pick and roll situations like Cade is, but I just don't see their games like meshing well together, especially with how much I think Ivy needs the ball in his hands, and I think he needs to. And I don't think, and of course, this is not going to be the team for him to do that, just because, like you just mentioned, that their best player, needs the ball in the hand, Cade, and he pretty much runs the offense, right? So, and I think I've always wanted to see like Pistons like match Cade up with a more traditional point guard, like somebody that could play off guard, but can also kind of be like a primary ball handler. And I think Denars kind of fits that mold a little bit. But yeah, I don't think what you asked, did he like does he fit? Was that the question?
yeah. Do you think he still fits the
Yeah.
Pistons' long-term goal, or do you think they're going to trade him?
Yeah, but you've got to North. I don't know what the value is going to be for him though, because I feel like if you were going to trade him, I feel like you should have traded him when he was starting and playing well. And I think the injury was kind of tough too. And I mean, also to be fair, he is working his way back from injury. You know what I mean? Like he didn't really play last year. So that could be something as well. But I feel like the value would have been higher like when he was starting and playing kind of well and playing well. You know what I mean? Like I think he was averaging what, like 16, 17 points a game. Like that would be a good but not I don't see him fitting and I don't even think they need him to be a six man. I mean, you have Karis LeVert off the bench. Like you don't really need him
Harris
in
LeVert's
as
been
a
playing great for them.
Yes, and and then you have a lot of other guards that like has to. Marcus Sasser still has to return. You know what I mean? And he's a great, great guard. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I think that's what I mean. I think you need to pair those type of guys with Cade, just like so Cade doesn't have to, bring the ball up every time. You know what I mean? And kind of initiate everything. Like you could have Marcus Sasser, you could have a Denarius Jenkins, like do that. Well, now I would like to see Ivy go somewhere where they'll just let him flow. Like maybe I don't know, maybe like a maybe Indiana or something, or um
With Halliburton,
I don't know. I just thought of Indiana. I don't know, like if
throw him on the Wizards.
that's like the safest answer. It's like the safest answer you could give. I feel like you could say that about Indiana. Brandon Mathurin, he may not resign. What? Put him on the Wizards. Like I feel like you could say that about any and every player. That is so bad. That's so bad as a franchise. You could just say anybody, just send anybody their way.
I mean, can you? I mean, what if I said Brooklyn Nets?
Mm, kind of like that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I see where you're going though. You essentially need to send them somewhere that's not maybe not a win now team, but he can just get his numbers. Like they'll just let him go. You
Get
know
his
what I
number.
mean?
He can have the ball a little more. You know,
Exactly. So yeah, I mean Brooklyn, I mean, yeah, essentially Brooklyn, Washington Wizards. Yeah, I mean those type of squads. But yeah, it was some tough Jan Duren. I thought he was really good for him. 21 and 11. Pretty much commanded the paint like he always does. It's really cool to see him like actually kind of he must have worked on it this summer. Or either he worked on it this summer or has always had it and JB Bigstaff is letting him, like show it off. Like I didn't realize he has such good touch, like in terms of shooting. Like, yeah, I didn't realize he has such good shooting touch. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's something he just worked on this summer or if he always had that. But I mean, his like he'll get in that pain and he's not afraid to, hit a turnaround jumper if he has to, if it's there. You know what I mean? And he hits those shots. And when the other day we were talking about the Pistons and we talking about him bringing the ball up the court and just like getting the and one. Like what are we talking about? Um, but it was a tough shooting night from Tobias Harris, 2 of 14. He had an off night. And then even Jenkins, 3 of 16. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know if I don't know if Ivy fits. Yeah, I don't know.
now there's other thought that just came to my head.
Hmm.
Completely different, but still in the Pistons. I remember the other night we were doing a Cavs game, and then we were talking about how like Donovan Mitchell decides to only show up on the fourth, um,
Mm.
and go crazy. I saw a stat during the game where they said Cade had the most fourth quarter points in the NBA this season so far. He's beating out Donovan Mitchell. That was a pretty interesting stat that I didn't know too much about. Um,
Uh, he seems to be like an early front runner for a clutch player of the year. I mean, he does. I think that's what he does though. I mean, he's definitely a finisher. I mean, yeah, that's what he does. I mean,
do
he's
you feel
clutch.
like he conserves his energy until the fourth?
I wouldn't say that. I don't want to put that on him. Nah, I just think. I mean, I feel like he's a smart player. You know what I mean? I think he lets the game come to him naturally. You know what I mean? But probably in that fourth, he does have that instinct though. I think, and he's kind of developed that. You know what I mean? In terms of just like he has that takeover instinct. It was a shot in the fourth quarter. I don't remember if they were still on the 13-0 run or if it was a little bit after when Nikhil, when Nikhil Alexander Walker hit like 3 buckets in a row. I was like, whoa. I was like, where was this? I was like, I mean, I knew he had it in him, but like, whoa, that was wild. But like I don't remember what move he did, but I know he was coming down in transition, and he was just so smooth, and he just went into like it was like a mid range or something, like a mid. I don't know if it was a mid range turnaround or just a regular mid range jumper, but like the poise that he showed in that situation to kind of like take over in a sense of like I don't know, like it was just that's what kind of like that's kind of what he's been, you know what I mean, for that team this year. Like he kind of he has that killer instinct, you know what I mean, and does he wait till the fourth quarter? I don't know. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I just think
Not necessarily waste of the
oh,
fourth quarter, but I think
uh-huh.
he conserves his energy until
Mm,
like I don't think he's as aggressive in the beginning because he lets the other team, and in the fourth quarter he's like, "All right, let me pick it up." I think
okay.
to point it out.
Does that? Is that an option? Ah, I don't know. That's a good point though. I mean, that
He's
that
just
may be
so
something
ultra
to watch.
aggressive in the fourth. He's
Yeah,
so like it's just give me the ball. I'm
yeah,
gonna go out there and I'm gonna get the point. And he's
yeah,
not like that in the rest of the quarters. It's like something clicks in him, and he's like, I'm done playing around. Give me the ball. Like I'm gonna make
yeah.
the bucket."
Oh, I wanna like go. I feel like with Donovan Mitchell, like I notice it like more. Like you'll watch Donovan, like you'll watch a Cavs game, and then you'll just like you'll be watching the first three quarters, and you just like, what the heck? And he's just I don't know if he'll just be chucking shots or like if he it like or what. Just I don't know what. But in the fourth quarter though, he'll just like go for 15 points straight for no reason at all. Just cause. You know what I mean? I don't know if I really see that with Cade. You know what I mean? Like I just think he just does a I just think he does a great job of controlling the game. You know what I mean? And just picking his spots. Because I mean he did, I mean, he had a lot of turnovers, but he did contribute in other ends, right? 5 steals, 3 blocks. You know what I mean? So he was, contributing on that defensive end as well. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could say that though. I don't know if I could say that. But you brought up a good question though. I mean, because they kind of, I mean, they have their team together, and they were still missing Duncan Robinson, with the ankle injury, and then Marcus Sasser still out. But do you think Jalen Ivey is the odd man out essentially?
Yeah,
Okay, and what team would you like him? What team? I mean, beside, well, you are. Oh, was the Wizards your real answer, or was that just, or you were just naming a bad team?
I mean I'm not naming it. Let me look at the teams. The first team that comes to my mind is throw him on the Wizards, let him get the ball, do what he does. Um,
Because then I
I'm
was
trying to
thinking,
think.
Indiana Pacers. Just I think he is from Indiana because I know he went to Purdue. But I don't know if
How would he
he's.
pair up with
Yeah, he is
Halliburton?
from Indiana. Hmm?
How would he pair up with Halliburton once he comes back?
Mm,
Because Halliburton needs the ball in his hands.
he does. I don't know. I feel like Halliburton can play off though, if need be. But
Throw
yeah,
him in
you're right. He
Miami.
does need he does need the ball. He does work best with the ball in his hand. Mm.
Throw him in
So, but
Miami.
he's not
Just
the.
give him the ball.
You said what?
Miami. Give him the ball.
Oh, Miami. I don't know. I like that.
He
I
could
like
he
that.
could have that grit that Miami be liking sometimes.
Yeah. I want my Miami. I want my Miami at all. I
I
want
think
my
that's the
Miami
best
at
one.
all.
Yeah.
No, that'd be tough. Cause, cause that's the thing. He's kind of a tough position though, because he's not like a true point guard. But then but is he does he provide the shooting of a two guard though? Like, is he a good enough shooter to kind of at that two guard position though? You know what I mean? I mean, he
Yeah.
hasn't shot terrible. He hasn't shot terrible from three, but I don't know if like is he a
It's not his
knockdown
go-to.
shooter?
Yeah, it's not. He's not a knockdown shooter. It's not his
Yeah,
specialty.
like like feel like from like a two guard position, I would feel comfortable like having like you gotta have that Malik Beasley, like Devin Booker could hit an open shot, you know what I mean? Like even and he can, get to the bucket too. Like, I mean? I feel like he's You gotta have that type of shooting ability. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they do with him because I mean I know he's working his way back, but yeah, like I'm curious what how that goes.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And when I was watching him, that's kind of the thoughts that came to my mind. Like, is he the odd man out? Everybody in this team, every guard's just has been improving, and we've
Yeah.
seen games where the Pistons are throwing out their third stringers and they're doing great. So
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, but I like Jenkins though. I mean, I don't know where they found him from, but he's shown to be and he's a rookie too. I mean, he's shown he could be a good player. I mean, it's only his first season, so he definitely, clearly has a lot to learn. But I mean, so far he's looking, and I didn't even know he was a rookie, but he looks like a vet. Like he looks like one of them like 2, 3 year, like one of them 3 year vets that maybe has like been to G League a couple times, but I mean, he has a certain poise out there. Like he's not. I mean, he did miss a lot of shots, but you could see what he could be though. Like on a, what I mean, on a good night.
the rookie, I thought this was the second year.
That's wild, bro.
He's
That's
really a
wild.
rookie. I could have sworn this was the second
That's
year, bro.
like that's what I mean. Oh wait, actually no, it is the second year. I don't know why
It's the
ESPN said.
second year.
I don't know why
I
ESPN
think
said.
he never played his first year. I think he was stuck on the G League his first year.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's why
But he's still
it's
not a rookie though.
technically his rookie year when you consider the
Oh,
games played, I think.
okay, Ben Simmons. Okay, I bet.
But he's is he still on a two-way? I think he's still on a two-way. The Pistons needs to hurry up and convert him to like a standard contract instead of keeping him on that two-way.
He's starting and he's on his way.
He's on a two-way. I'm telling you, I remember this. Last time we watched the Pistons game and that man was going off, I had to Google him because I was like,
Yeah.
where's he coming
I,
from? So,
I was a little worried. They was doing the announcements, and then they first announced Dennis Jenkins. I'm like, oh man, it's Cade out again. I'm like, I'm like, here we go. I thought they was gonna announce Javante Green, Paul Reed, God dang, and then Jalen Duren would be the only one playing. Like no Asar, like no nothing. But nah, it was. Nah, he's nice though. He's nice for sure.
I would, aside from the Pistons, I would like to see from the Hawks side, I would
Hmm.
like to see Trae Young play. I think the two games that we watched the Hawks, Trae Young wasn't playing. Um, so it'd be interesting to see Trae Young play.
Yeah, I think they really needed him this game specifically, just because like they did what they were supposed to do, right? Pistons go on that 13-0 run. Cade does his thing during, gets in one, I believe, yeah. Like, Pistons were scoring, in bunches, 13-0. Then, Nikhil Alexander Walker, scores 3 straight buckets. Um, and then Jalen Johnson, hits that three. But for that, they kind of went like maybe 2, 3 straight possessions with no points. You know what I mean? And I feel like having Trae would have I mean, I feel like he would have scored or tried to create something for somebody, you know what I mean, to kind of, create some offense and get some points on the board. Because I think that stretch right there, those like 2 or 3 possessions, pretty much lost them the game, essentially. But yeah, I mean, I agree though. I would love to see K too. I mean, Trae too. They definitely need him today, but no, I mean it was a well fought game though. They did what they did what they did.
Yeah, it was up to the wire. I almost thought we were about to go to overtime on a Monday.
Oh, it's interesting. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you noticed it either. It's probably gonna be like I don't want to like go too long, but like it's like you watch basketball games and it's like you almost know you like watch it so much you almost know what's gonna happen. And I don't know if you remember like when it was what was it I think it was that run that Detroit went on the 13-0. But then it's like Jalen Johnson shoots a three. Like Jalen Johnson's about to shoot a three. And the Hawks was cold at this point, but you kind of like know it's gonna go in, right? It's like I don't know if the NBA like is able to kind of create that or if that's just natural basketball. But like kind of, and then James Johnson comes in and hits a three. Then they're within two or something like that, two or three or something like that. Then they come down, and then Detroit misses, and then Nikhil Alexander Walker like hits a corner three, boom, and it's like you kind of knew they like you kind of knew they were gonna make it just like off of the I don't know if it's just the flow of the game or it's like I don't want to say it's rigged, but like I don't know, you just it's like one of the moments like you could just tell like, after watching so much basketball, you could just tell like when something like when like somebody's gonna make a shot or if like a certain run's gonna happen or something.
I've experienced it a lot in terms of missing shots, actually. I feel
Mm.
like sometimes I'll look at a player, and as soon as the ball leaves his hand, I'm like, he's missing that. Like, it's just even if it could be a really good player that takes really good shots, and I
Hmm.
sometimes I just see the way it comes off his hands, and I'm like, that's not going in.
Yeah. No. Like, it's interesting. I don't know. You just watch it so much, you just pick up. Like, you're able to just pick up on just certain things. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool to see.
Yeah, we're watching a little
But
too much basketball. That's why.
all right. But nah, that's a great win. Great win at home for the Pistons. Um, I mean a couple bad shooting nights from a couple players, but overall they pulled it out. And they did what they had to do. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Get the like, comment, subscribe. Leave any comments on your thoughts on the game or just thoughts on the league overall so far. And we'll catch you in the next video. We out.